support of the larger community. Literacy is the responsibility of the entire school community. What goes on in the classroom is key, no doubt about it, but without the involvement and support of school administrators, parents, and the large education community, teachers' work in the classroom will be ineffective. This video will present the strategies we employ beyond the classroom to ensure that what happens in the classroom has the most powerful impact on pupils that is possible. Let's begin by looking at a model that represents all the stakeholders in literacy education. As we have said, what happens in the classroom is key. At the heart of our model is the pupil. Surrounding the pupil with academic and moral support is the teacher. Supporting the teacher to do his or her job is the school. When the pupils leave the school, they return home to their parents. The parents are a child's first and most important teachers. Parents are part of a larger community that has a role to play in literacy education. This includes a wide range of government and civil society organizations that have been established to support education in Uganda, as well as the general public as a whole. For our purposes, we will call all these the community. So there you have our illustration of all the key stakeholders in literacy education. What happens in the classroom between pupils and teachers is the topic of most of our instructional videos. So we won't look at these two key stakeholders in literacy education here. Instead, we'll look at what we are doing beyond the classroom, starting with the school. Mango Tree's literacy model is not for every school. Some schools are still unable to provide basic services to pupils, like lockable classrooms, desks, and latrines. Instructional materials are easily lost or stolen due to poor storage. Teacher absenteeism is high due to lack of administrative support. Basic supplies like manila and chalk are not available because of poor budgetary oversight. These schools are not yet ready for a literacy initiative that requires high levels of commitment, organization, and resource mobilization from teachers, school administrators, and school management committees. We look for schools where school administrators and school management committees are functioning well. We invite the ED teachers and SMC chairperson to attend a project orientation meeting in late November to decide if they want to participate. We share with them the benefits and the cost of participating in our project. Schools who decide to participate must sign a contract that outlines their responsibilities in the implementation of the literacy project. The contributions outlined in the contract include the following. Classrooms must have good security, that is, lockable doors and windows. Provision of desks for all the learners. Provision of lockable cupboard in at least one of the two classrooms for instructional material storage. Selection of the best early primary teachers to participate in the program. Budget for adequate chalk, manila, and markers for teachers per term. Organize and implement timely parent meetings for early primary classes. Schools that do not live up to the contract specifications are removed from the project.
The school has benefited a lot from Mango Tree. There's a lot of improvement in the teaching and learning itself. The children can read and write. The teachers are motivated and they're supervised.
ED teachers also participate in a 2-day ED teacher training workshop during the first term, in which they learn the basics of our model and are given specific monitoring tasks to undertake each term. In summary, let's look at the ways we involve schools in our literacy model. We use 4 major strategies to ensure that school administrators are actively involved in our model. 1. A project orientation for ED teachers and SMC chairpersons in which they learn about costs and benefits of participating in our project. 2. A contract signed by the head teacher and SMC chair that outlines their responsibilities. Number 3. A head teacher training to give them an overview of literacy model so that they can monitor classrooms effectively. And 4. A head teacher monitoring tool that is to be filled at least once per term for each teacher in the project. Now let's look at how we involve parents in our literacy model. As we said in the introduction, parents are their child's first and most important teachers. Educational research shows that children who have parents that are actively engaged in their school education have significantly higher levels of academic achievement. In order to engage parents, one of the first things we did was to create a parent-friendly report card. Our report card is modeled on the one suggested by the Ministry of Education and Sports. It's written in Lebanon and outlines the key competences that pupils are expected to master during the term. We have also revised the way in which the report card is marked to give parents more useful information on their child's performance. Finally, we train parents how to interpret the report card during the parent orientation meeting in the first term.
It was explained during that meeting to us parents that when you see bear attack, it means she has performed very well. When it is bear, it means it is good. When it is metakonya, then it means somebody has got to be consulted to uplift in that particular area. It is very easy even for parents who do not know English to perceive the things in the child's report.
Our Take a Book Home policy is another way we involve parents in their child's education. Pupils begin taking storybooks and primers home to read each week, beginning in the middle of the first term. Each school creates different systems for making this happen, but encouraging reading at home is part of our model. Research shows that pupils who are exposed to reading at home make significantly higher gains in reading fluency over the course of an academic year. Therefore, we are trying to introduce the practice of independent reading at home to parents in our participating schools.
I would first ask her to read for me, and I would also join her and we read together. At school, the child is used to the teacher. At home, the child is used to the parents. So when the teacher talks to the child about the book, and the child goes with the same book to the parents, and the parents talk to them about the same book, then it would mean to her that that book now is very important, because even the parent is saying the same thing the teacher says.
As we mentioned earlier, schools that use our model have signed a contract to organize one parent involvement activity each term. Although each school plans and implements their own parent meetings, we do have certain expectations for what will take place. Here is a brief overview of the termly parent trainings. In term 1, the school holds a parent orientation meeting. Mango Tree has developed a literacy awareness chart set to help parents understand the importance of local language literacy and the Ministry of Education and Sports policies for early primary education. Parents are given a copy of the parent report card and trained in how to read and interpret it. Teachers introduce the Take a Book Home policy and set guidelines with the parents for storybooks going home with the pupils. Most schools require that pupils bring a simple book bag to school for safe transport of the books to and from school. The head teacher outlines the parents' contributions to their child's classroom instructional materials. This includes provision of exercise books, pencils, and a book bag. In term 2, another meeting takes place, Education Week. This term, parents have the opportunity to visit the school and observe classes in session over the course of a week, as well as have one-on-one meetings with their child's class teacher. Teachers share our parent assessment tool with the parents individually. At the end of the week, parents are invited to attend a meeting to follow up issues discussed in term 1, and the parent assessment tool is distributed to more parents. The parent assessment tool is another means of involving parents in their children's literacy learning. The tool has 4 parts: letter name knowledge, familiar word reading, reading fluency test, and reading comprehension test.
Ask them to read, and we would also ask them where there is a story, we would ask them and find how they have understood the story from the questions given on the brochure, and we could also create our own questions. She was progressing a lot. I learned and I liked it. She's progressing.
The final meeting of the academic year is in term 3. We call it Literacy Recognition Day. At the Literacy Recognition Day, pupils demonstrate what they have learned during the school year for their parents and are awarded prizes for a variety of literacy and other academic achievements. Again, let's review the strategies we use to involve parents in their children's literacy education. We have developed a parent-friendly report card and trained parents in how to interpret it. We have a take-a-book-home policy that encourages parents and children to read together. Each term, schools organize a parent involvement activity designed to improve parent skills and educate them on issues to early literacy. During term 1, we present the literacy awareness chart set, and in term 2, we distribute the parent assessment tool so parents can see how their children are progressing. We expect parents to contribute a set number of exercise books and pencils. Our final literacy stakeholders are the community. When we talk about community, we are referring to a wide range of government and civil society organizations that have been established to support education in Uganda, as well as the general public as a whole. We have signed MOUs with all the districts in which we operate. We align our program objectives with the district development plans for each district. We share our annual work plans with district education officers and report our annual financial contributions to the planning departments. School inspectors from each of the districts also participate in our project advisory committee. Our project advisory committee, or PAC, meets twice a year to review progress toward program objectives and allows for two-way communication of plans for the coming period. Along with district inspectors, the members of the PAC include the deputy principals of the 2 primary teacher colleges in the Lango sub-region and representatives from the Lango Language Board and the Lango Cultural Foundation. The coordinating center tutors and ED teachers also each elect 1 member to participate. PAC members are our implementing partners as well as key education stakeholders in the sub-region. They advise us on our work plan and help us resolve any challenges we encounter. We try to schedule our PAC meetings around the reporting periods for our donors so they can also help us capture key project data. The Lango Language Board, LLB, is not only a member of our project advisory committee, they are also one of our key implementing partners. They have provided technical assistance in ensuring that all our instructional materials are aligned to the orthography. They also provide lexical coining of new words that are required to implement the thematic curriculum. For example, there was no word in level now for sentence, an important concept pupils need to understand beginning in P1 Term 1. The LLB also does its own community outreach activities that support our messages to parents around the importance of local language instruction in primary schools. To summarize, we ensure key community stakeholders are involved in our literacy education project by doing the following: establishing MOUs with the districts in which we operate and aligning our project activities to their district development plans. Provide district local governments with our work plans and financial and other inputs. Meet twice a year with a project advisory committee made up of key education stakeholders. Involve the language board and support them so that they can do their work more effectively. In conclusion, we recognize that our literacy model needs to work synergistically with the other literacy stakeholders in the Lango sub-region, and we do all we can to play an active role in ensuring that teachers and pupils get all the support they require to provide effective literacy instruction to their pupils. Thank you for your attention. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Craig Esbeck, and I work for Mango Tree's Northern Uganda Literacy Program. This video will outline the model that provides the foundation for the work we do in early primary classrooms in the Lango sub-region. To understand Mango Tree's literacy model, the best place to start is at the end. What do I mean by this? Here, let me explain. As teachers, you are going to spend a year with a classroom full of young children.